Making headlines tonight, Walsh Jr. big blow as Windies look for positive start. Messi banned for 2 matches and Jamaican wins bobsleigh opener. Good evening and welcome to the major ZDK Sports Edition for Tuesday, January 19, 2021. I am your presenter, Terry Laraji, and now for the details. We begin tonight bowling off with cricket. West Indies will start their bid towards the 2023 World Cup tournament when they play the first one-day international against Bangladesh on Wednesday at the Sher-e-Bangla Stadium. New captain Jason Mohammed, while speaking today at the pre-match press conference, admitted Antiguan leg spinner Hayden Walsh Jr., who is now recovering after returning a positive COVID-19 test, which ruled him out of the series, is a big blow to the team's chances.
Obviously, it's a big loss for us. Obviously, he would have been the most senior spinner within the team, so it's a huge loss for us. But in saying that, there's Akil Hussain, who's now our frontline spinner, and myself and Andrew McCarthy. Myself and Andrew McCarthy is going to have to try and fill that role as possible. So he's a huge loss for us.
Mohammed, however, says that with a young team that are stepping up from first-class level, it is his job to motivate them mentally.
I mean, everyone has played a lot of first-class cricket who's within the team. Obviously, it's a big jump thing. The much as we can do is try and encourage the guys as much as possible. I think the most important thing is the belief within everyone. That is as much as we can do. I think the guys are up for it, and as a coach and a captain, there's not much you can do. Is obviously sharpening up on the skill, but obviously it's up to the individual. How they prepare and how they go in the games.
The positions of the participating teams finish in the league will determine who qualifies directly for the next World Cup. The top 7 teams in host India would be certain participants, while the lower-ranked teams would be forced to book their spots via the qualification tournament. At the moment, West Indies sit in 9th position, and Mohammed is determined for the Windies to avoid the qualification process and qualify automatically.
Something that will obviously be on our minds as well. And, the staff, obviously, you want to win games to try and gain points to avoid, as you said, the qualification. So it's very important for the team to try and do so. As much as we are a young team and inexperienced team, as everyone is saying, we just have to try our best and try and grab a couple of points, for the team.
Jason Mohammed. Head coach Phil Simmons indicated that he is confident of a good series from his players as well as leadership from new captain Mohammed. This upcoming series will form part of the International Cricket Council's World Cup Super League, which will form part of qualification for the marquee global event to be played in India. Simmons believes Captain Mohammed, despite being out of the side for some 2.5 years, will do well leading from the front.
He has a good cricket brain, been captain quite a few West Indies underage teams, captain at Trinidad already, so he has that pedigree and that ability, so I'm just expecting him to lead and lead from the front.
Phil Simmons. The first one-day international bowls off at 1:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Caribbean time. All-rounder Kyle Mayers believes the bowling will be the Windies' greatest challenge.
I think the bowling department is a little inexperienced, but the batting to me is very good. I play with these guys in the 18 series, so these guys are accustomed playing with each other. So I think bowling is going to be the most difficult part for us.
In regards to what he can personally contribute, Mez sees his batting as his strength.
I think my batting will be most useful for the side. After assessing the conditions here in Bangladesh, I think my batting will be very important for my side going forward.
Kyle Mayers. Meanwhile, Canada cricket all-rounder Nitish Kumar has been invited to the Leeward Islands Hurricanes training camp ahead of the 2021 Caribbean Regional Super 50 Championships. The Hurricanes are scheduled to face Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago and the Windward Islands in the annual West Indies 50-over tournament slated to be played in Antigua next month. Kumar is the lone Canadian to have received a camp invitation ahead of the tournament. He will be bidding to make the Hurricanes' final 15-man roster at their Antigua-based camp. A right-handed batsman and right-arm off-spinner, Kumar was named Canada captain in 2016 at the age of 22. He served as skipper through 2019. Kumar was Canada's leading run scorer at the 2019 ICC T20 World Cup qualifier tournament in the UAE with 245 runs in 6 matches. Meantime, Kieron Pollard hit 100 to lead the Pollard 11 to a comfortable 3-wicket win over Correa 11 on Friday at the Queen's Park Oval, Port of Spain. Chasing 275 for victory, The Pollard 11 were in a dicey position at 64 for 4. However, Pollard and Dennis Ramden put on 162 for the fifth wicket. Pollard hit 12 sixes and 4 boundaries in his 65-ball knock of 113 to haul his team back into the contest. Pollard will lead a powerful Trinidad and Tobago Red Force squad when the CG Insurance Super 50 Cup bowls off in Antigua and Barbuda from February 7 to 27. A newly appointed West Indies under-19 head coach, Floyd Reefer, says his vision is not simply to develop a strong cadre of players, but to transform the next generation of cricketers into elite athletes. The former West Indies batsman, who has enjoyed widespread success with the region's development teams, said preparing the players for next year's International Cricket Council Youth World Cup was only part of a wider thrust that would have long-term benefits for West Indies cricket. Reefer said the preparation of the young players for the tournament would involve a multifaceted approach aimed at not only developing cricketing skills but the total sportsman. Meantime, Dominica and Windward Islands cricketer Tyrone Theophile is now back in Dominica after he underwent emergency surgery in Martinique. Theophile arrived in Dominica on Monday via air ambulance from Martinique and was transported to the isolation unit at the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he is being quarantined. The 31-year-old had been placed in the intensive care unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital, having sustained a fractured skull in the accident which occurred near the Rousseau post office in the capital Rousseau on Christmas Day 2020. His fiancée, who was with him in Martinique during his ordeal, expressed her gratitude on his behalf to all. Meanwhile, Rishabh Pant made an unbeaten 89 as India chased down 328 to stun Australia on Day 5 of the fourth Test in Brisbane, grabbing victory by 3 wickets to win the 4-match series 2-1. The win marks a remarkable turnaround for India, who were bowled out for a paltry 36 as they lost the first Test in Adelaide, after which Captain Virat Kohli departed to be at the birth of his first child. Injuries have also blighted the tourists throughout the tour, but they levelled the 4-match series in the Boxing Day Test at the MCG before holding out for a draw in Sydney. Scores India 336 and 329 for 7, Gill 91, Pant 89 not out, Pujara 56, Cummins 4 for 55, Australia 369 and 294. And former India leg spinner B.S. Chandrasekhar is recovering in hospital after suffering a very, very minute stroke. The 75-year-old complained of tiredness and fatigue on Friday evening, and his speech became a little bit cluttered. On the advice of doctors, Chandrasekhar was admitted to hospital, where he was kept in the emergency care unit for medical observation. He has now been shifted to a regular ward and is undergoing physiotherapy. Chandrasekhar played 58 tests for India between 1964 and 1979, taking 242 wickets at an average of 29.7. In other sporting developments tonight, kicking into football, the Antigua and Barbuda Football Association ABFA Referees Committee received over 45 applicants, both male and female, for their successful referees recruitment course, which ran from January 14 to 17. In adherence to all COVID-19 protocols, the course applicants were placed into groups to accommodate the numbers and to ensure all applicants got the opportunity to participate, with Group 1 completing their course yesterday. The referees recruitment course was designed to help individuals become diligent in leadership, mentoring and promoting the sport throughout their communities. Meantime, in the English Premier League last night, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored twice as Arsenal beat Newcastle 3-0 to move into the top 10 of the Premier League and increase the pressure on Magpies boss Steve Bruce. The double strike took Aubameyang's league total to 5 for the campaign, and boss Mikel Arteta was pleased to see him return to form. And Mohamed Salah insists he wants to stay at Liverpool as long as possible, but said his future was in the club's hands. Salah sparked speculation over his future when he refused to rule out a move to Real Madrid or Barcelona during an interview last month. The star forward is contracted at Liverpool until 2023, but the Egypt international continues to be linked with a move. Salah, who has scored 17 goals in 26 games in all competitions this season, said he wanted to remain at Anfield. Meanwhile, Phil Neville has left his role as manager of England's women and been appointed in charge of David Beckham's Major League Soccer side, Inter Miami. The 43-year-old was appointed as England boss in January 2018, and his contract was set to end in July. The Football Association, FA, says it will shortly confirm an interim head coach. Former Manchester United and Everton defender Neville was the leading contender to manage Great Britain at the Olympic Games, but his move to the United States has left the FA needing another option. Meantime, Barcelona captain Lionel Messi has been banned for 2 games after being sent off for the first time for his club during their Spanish Super Cup defeat. Barcelona say they will appeal against the suspension, which was handed out by the Spanish Football Federation. The 33-year-old forward, in his 753rd appearance for Barca, appeared to swing at Atletico Bilbao's Asier Villalobrí in the final seconds of extra time. The incident was spotted by the VAR, and Messi was shown a red card in a 3-2 defeat. Shooting into basketball in the NBA last night, the Knicks nicked off the Magic 91-84. The Hawks defeated the Timberwolves 108-97. The Spurs blazed the Trailblazers 125-104 as Lillard netted 35. The Grizzlies beat the Suns 108-104. The Nets bucked the Bucks 125-123 as Harden dropped in 34. The Raptors wrapped up the Mavericks 116-93. The Heat were too hot for the Pistons 113-107. The Bulls rocked the Rockets 125-120 as Levine scored 33. And the Warriors, they tipped off the Lakers 115-113 as Curry netted 26, leaving LeBron James frustrated with the performance and the officials as the Lakers suffered a fourth-quarter collapse after leading 92-81 at three-quarter time. Sledding into bobsleigh, a plan in the off-season to get stronger and faster, and a healthy dose of self-belief are the foundation to Kari Russell's win in the Women's Monobob Bobsleigh World Series event in Park City, Utah on Sunday. The 30-year-old Jamaican Russell, a 100-meter gold medalist at the World University Games in 2011 and 2013 World Championship 4x100-meter relay champion, produced a combined time of 1 minute 49.08 to defeat American Nicole Voigt and Brazil's Marina Silva, who took silver and bronze respectively. Russell said a lot of hard work went into making her season debut a success. Serving into tennis, world number 1 Novak Djokovic has been shut down after reportedly issuing a letter to Australian Open tournament director Craig Tilley as the shambolic arrival of overseas participants continues. On Sunday night, a third plane with a positive COVID-19 test arrived in Melbourne as tennis stars continue to complain about the conditions they face in quarantine. There are now reportedly 72 players who face a hard 14-day lockdown, unable to leave their hotel rooms. Djokovic reportedly asked for permission to visit coaches, move players to private houses with a court to train, or at least have fitness and training material in all rooms. However, Victorian Premier Dan Andrews set Djokovic straight at a press conference on Monday, telling him that people are free to provide a list of demands, but the answer is no. 2 more Australian Open tennis players have tested positive for COVID-19 after arriving in Melbourne, state health officials said on Tuesday. It comes after a player was believed to have tested positive on Sunday amid growing controversy over the event. 1 more non-playing participant also has COVID, bringing the overall total linked to the Open to 7, including a flight attendant. Some 1,200 people have flown in for the tournament, which begins on February 8th. And finally tonight on this day in history, in 1977, John Lever and Derek Underwood, match figures, 31 overs, 16 maidens, 6 for 44, bowled England to a 200-run victory over India in Madras, giving them a 3-0 lead, with 2 to play and clinching their first series win in India for 43 years. India was skittled for 83 in their second innings, at the time the lowest score in a test in India. And that story has brought us to the end of our sporting developments for tonight. Now to recap our top story. West Indies will start their bid towards the 2023 World Cup tournament when they play the first one-day international against Bangladesh on Wednesday at the Sherabangla Stadium. The match bowls off at 1:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Caribbean time. I have been your presenter, Terry Laraji. Thank you for listening. To watch ZDK Sports Package, go go to the YouTube channel of Terry Laraji, The Straight Bat, and subscribe. Stay tuned now for your Voice of America update. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.